Live streaming is on.
Greetings and welcome to Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for watching Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of that so you can watch it or be a part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunt Hangar Forum member to find the link to attend the after party. Here at Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunt Hangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Sunset Michael Foxtrot. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunt Hangar will not approve you. Now, if you're not willing to come in or don't want to come in but just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I will do my best to make your comments a part of the show. Understand that sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient. I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. Now, if you find that Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts or the many building videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up. That's a like. Subscribe and share the videos. That helps the channel grow. Please also consider joining our YouTube channel memberships, which start at $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunt Hangar. Now, with your memberships, you get special badges I can see on the YouTube chat. You get unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. You can also use the super chat, which is located in the bottom of the chat box, to make donations. Now, that is only available during the live stream. You can't see the super chat during the replay. So if you're interested and willing to help us and support us, please tune in to a live show so you can capture the super chat button and make a donation. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words you wouldn't say around your children or grandchildren. I'm looking for the to post a link in stunthangar.com. Here we go. So that link is posted. And so let me check the live stream. And Mike Lonke's there already. Because he says, I like this handsome guy hosting the show, and he has some smiley faces with some tears. He's laughing so hard. Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate that. I enjoy doing this as well. I enjoy meeting people like you and the guys that are regulars, and looking forward to some new guests. I'm hoping that some people that are catching the replays might want to come in live and be a part of the show. So hopefully that'll happen. And let me get back to the 8x8. And all right, so let's see here. Well, I went flying today. Had a pretty good day flying. I had a friend who had something he didn't plan for, but it's part of the maturation process. And but we still had a really good day, and the plane survived, so that's all good. And I'm looking forward to getting out there again, do some more flying. The weather is, I love the spring out here in Southern California. It's actually probably the spring and the fall are my favorite times to fly. The winter, of course, with the rain and stuff like that. You know, it doesn't rain in Southern California. That's what the song says anyways, but it does rain. But the summer, it gets really hot. I mean, like over 117 degrees. 107 degrees. I mean, let me let Howard rush in. Hey, Howard.
Hi, Charles. Did you ever send me your postal address?
No, I'm so sorry. I have not done that. Every time we come on the show, I go, oh, I got to remember to send him a link. I will, but I'm really interested in getting those vortex generators.
Yeah. Yeah. I looked for your address, but I didn't look for it too hard, so I don't know if you sent it.
I'm in Pampa, but I don't want you to have to do that work to find it. But I'm in Pampa. If you've had the Pampa directory, I'm in that.
Not handy, no.
Yeah, so no worries. I'll get it to you.
Okay.
I'm interested. I've just been, busier than a one-legged contestant in a butt whipping contest.
Okay, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's getting better though. I see the light in the tunnel.
Good.
Yeah. So, what you been up to?
I'm building a stunt plane.
All right.
That's about it.
Well, that's a lot. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today, and I was telling him how I've been building this plane I call Precious Balsa for 2 years now. Yeah, it's kind of an homage to the Precious Metal Reno Air Racer. I call it Precious Balsa.
Yeah.
But I've been working on that for 2 years, and this guy was working on a smaller plane, and it's been about a year. I go, it happens. Life gets in the way.
Yeah, or senility in my case.
Yeah. Well, I think that can happen to a lot of us.
Yeah. Well,
maybe some of us are unaware.
Well, I probably am. Yeah.
So. Hey, Gary. I don't see your picture, but I see your initials. Well, while we're waiting for Gary, so what have you been doing lately with your stunt plane?
Well, I'm the last week I've been building flaps and incorporating the Lori Malila's adjuster into the flap. Figuring out how to do that.
Oh, wow. Is that the one where you have a hole inside the fuselage and you have like two uprights of a flap horn that you adjust?
Well, that's the way you ought to do it. Let me show you what I got.
All right.
I'll turn the camera around. Toggle camera. Here we go.
Yeah, I appreciate this, Howard. People in our audience, they really like the show and tells. I had someone comment last Monday. They said, no show and tells. What's going on?
Here's the doodad inside the flap.
Wow.
And let's see, where's the cover for the flap? Here it is. Where are you? Oh, there it is. It goes on like that. It's too thick for a piece of balsa, so I got a thinner piece of carbon there in the root. Let's see, can you see the adjustment slot?
Yeah, I think so. I think I see that slot. Yeah, I see the slot. Yeah. So is it in working order to show me how it adjusts?
The slot's on the other side. No wonder you can't see the slot. Okay, here's the slot. If I can find the yeah. There it is.
I know it's hard. There it is.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now whose design is that mechanism?
Lori Malila.
Okay.
The guy from Switzerland who makes his own engines.
Wow.
I saw him in Poland with an engine he made, and I said, "Is that?" It looked like a TD65. I said, "Is that a TD65?" He said, "Yeah, Cox only made a few of them." Here's the cover on the adjustment side.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Another amusing Lori story was we were there at the World Champs, and he he came to me and looked kind of distraught. He said, "Do you have a different scoring system in the U.S.?" "Yeah," I said. He said, "The American judge gave me a 3 for my square 8. It wasn't that bad."
Wow, a 3.
A
Wow.
3 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
I said, "I bet he gave you a 30.
Yeah, yeah.
I went and checked with him. Sure enough, he gave him a 30.
You gave him a 30.
He wrote down 30, and the tabulator thought it was 3.0, obviously.
Right. Yeah, because it's supposed to be maxed out at 10. Oh, it's funny.
So they changed it, and all was well.
Fantastic. So it should have been more like a 7, right?
Yeah, yeah, he gave him a 7 or something.
Very cool. Let me let the Gary Sinclair back in.
Hi, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Hey.
Now we see you.
Yeah, I didn't have no sound before.
Oh, okay. Well, now you do.
Yeah. Your picture wasn't there either. So
Huh. We have Howard and myself, Gary. So there's 3 of us
3.
holding down the fort.
I got a letter from McBride today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's got his own business, electric and plumbing,
Right.
and
right.
he's pretty busy, so he don't get home before we're off the air. So
Yeah, I imagine in Las Vegas you probably want to work even later. It gets cooler. When it gets hot, he's probably working later than working during the day, I imagine.
yeah.
Yeah, he's an electrician. We were at the banquet at the Golden State Stunt Championships, and I showed him this picture of this wiring atrocity in this house. We got this fixer-upper house, and we took a cabinet out, and behind it was a piece of Romex coming out of the wall, and taped to that was an extension cord that went to a lamp up on top. So
That's that's funny.
I showed him a picture of that, and he just started vibrating. He was so upset.
Yeah, no, that's not the best workmanship you want to have.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure
I've had other electrician fun with that. I showed it to electricians, and they freak out. It's been worth the price.
Oh, I bet. Well, sometimes you'll do something like that, and you just mean it for just to be temporary, but you get distracted, and you don't return back to it, and it's like, oh my goodness, I did this just for a quick minute, and it's there for a long time.
Could be.
Could be, yeah, could be. I'm gonna switch our attention to the chat box real quick. Gary, you said you'll be there in a minute, which you are, and then Tom Bramall, he says, I gave you a like, Charles. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. And Mike Lonke says, Tom, your RC boat video was cool. And Tom Bramall says, thank you, Mike. And Tom Bramall says, we had rain all week. And that's it for the chat box. We have 13 viewers right now. We have 7 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. That helps us grow the channel. And don't forget to consider contributing by supporting us through the chat box. Or if you want to do a monthly subscription of $4.99, which is less than 17 cents a day, that'll really help. And don't forget to subscribe, which doesn't cost you anything. And when you subscribe, you want to hit all notifications on the bell. When you hit the bell, you get to choose what notifications you want. Select all, so that no matter what, you know what's going on. We have a slight echo for some reason.
Yeah, that's right here.
Oh, I thought it was me. Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, that's good. No echo. So.
Okay, I'll turn off my microphone if that helps, and go work on my airplane.
Okay, hey, thanks Howard for tuning in. Hopefully we'll have some other people join us, and we'll have a great show or program. It's still pretty early. It's only 7:01 out here in the Best Coast or the right coast. So, Gary, I've been meaning to email you as well as been meaning to email Howard, but I just didn't get back to you in chance, but I will. So look for an email. And
Okay.
I did get my calendar. I got it last week. Looks good.
All right.
Looks very, very good.
Now we'll see whether there's a fellow up in Canada, on the West Coast up in there. He was with us. Wonder if he got his yet.
You
Or
mean
never.
Robert Whitney, or you mean Lynn Burrell?
No, Walter or Whitney. You say it was,
Yeah, Robert Whitney, I think his name is.
and then of course Gerald. I don't know whether they got his yet or not.
And Gerald, New Zealand. Yeah, yeah, we're international. Yeah, and there's a guy from the UK. Trying to remember his name. I thought it was something Third, maybe Timothy Third. I think he's in the UK. And then Greg Biswick is in. I think he's in South America, I believe.
So did I hear you had a problem at the field or something, or a close call?
Not myself, but the guy I'm teaching how to fly. It's just a part of the natural process of learning how to fly.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah.
I don't want to embarrass him because he's doing a good job. I commended him for the to execute that he actually tried to do something. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of people who I've seen people that will build a beautiful plane. I mean, absolutely gorgeous, but they're so scared to fly. The plane doesn't even get out of the house. You know what I mean? And then you have the other extreme, where of course where we fly these beautiful planes and take them through maneuvers and all that. So anywhere in between there, you have all different kind of flyers. They might be willing to fly, but they want to just fly level, and then some will do a little bit more, and some will do a little bit more, and then some will really freak out at going inverted, and it's just part of it, right?
I guess. Sounds like me.
Yeah. So where was you stuck at?
I don't think I ever did try inverted. Did loops and wing overs and like that, but
Yeah, for me, the scariest maneuver was the outside squares. That really was against my nature to have the plane around 45 degrees and then headed straight down toward the deck. That
then
I
give her
remember-
down instead of up, huh?
well, that's how you do the outside square. You get
Yeah.
top and you go straight down, and you don't know how fast the plane's going to get to the deck. And so, my first one was really, really quick. I almost stalled the plane. I responded so quickly, and but everybody has to overcome the fear of whatever it is. I find every new maneuver was scary, great trepidation and anxiety and about doing it. It didn't matter. It seemed like the hourglass was scary. So was we have an echo still. I don't know why. Let me turn my volume down. Here comes Peter. Hey, Peter.
Hi, Peter. Good evening.
Hopefully the echo will go away. I just lowered my volume. I don't know if it was me, so I lowered my volume. Well, we're up to 15 viewers, and we have 12 likes. Thank you very much. And Alexander Third. Scotland. I said UK, so forgive me, Alexander. You're from Scotland. I sit corrected. And greetings to you out there in Scotland.
Scotland is in the UK last time I looked.
Well, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah, up above Wales there.
So, Peter, what you been up to?
I'll get into it a little bit right now. What the heck is going on here?
You take care of that. I'll carry on.
I'm gotta get my dinner ready here.
All right. So Alexander III, he says, no worries, buddy. Thanks. And Mike Lonky says, outside square is my favorite. Drive it straight down until you get scared and pull out. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know what gives me trepidation now. I really can't. Nothing does anymore. But I'm just saying, as you approach a new maneuver, they each have their own anxiety you're scared of. At least I was. And then Alexander 30 says, might be in the UK. Hope not that longer. Yeah. Yeah, we have a state here in the United States. Texas is always threatening to leave. Yes. Oh, that's I think that's his plane. Peter's plane.
It's been nice out here there this week.
Oh, good. It's been nice out here too. I mean, it's absolutely just today was almost stunt heaven. I mean, it was the grass had just been mowed recently, and it's nothing like the smell of fresh cut grass and castor oil. You gotta have those. You have those two, and it's like, oh, all is fine in the universe.
That's right. I have another show and tell if you want.
Oh, absolutely, Howard. Please.
Yeah.
If you run out of things to talk about.
I'll make it big here.
Yeah, the bar at the bottom has changed.
I'm an example of how not to do things. Like just a few minutes ago, I cut my finger, and
Oh no.
yeah, I can't be trusted with an X-Acto knife anymore. But this is such as building airplanes when you're now. Well, I've got this thing, little pin sticking out of my control horn for Lori's device.
Right.
And I put it in the wrong place.
Oh no. Oh no.
So I could drill a hole through the control horn before I put it in the airplane, but here it is installed. Now how do I drill a hole? Well, Mike Haverly made me this drill jig, and where's the drill jig?
Hi, Bob.
There it is. Here's a drill jig. Slide this over the 1/8" wire and drill the 16" hole in it. There's a ground screw to hold it in place.
Oh.
Well, he cautioned me, do not get too aggressive with the drill, or you break the bit, because it's really hard digging when you go through the other side. You break the bit. So I decided to practice with it a couple of times, and sure enough, I broke the bit. So after that, I just say, I better not. If I break the bit with that thing on the airplane, I'll never get it off. So,
Yeah, that's true.
Contraption instead. This goes on the drill press, and the fuselage goes in here, and the control horn goes in here.
Okay.
And then I could just drill it normally with the drill press.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So I've recovered from that piece of stupidity, and I have a Band-Aid on the finger from the more recent piece. So I'll go do more dumb things and report.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I've made mistakes building a plane just through the course of just building a plane. I think it involves just persistence and overcoming challenges constantly until you get done.
One thing I found throughout my career is no matter how many mistakes you make, everything can be fixed.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
some things can, but if you break a bit off in a drill jig, drilling your control horn on the airplane, that's going to be harder to fix. Here's something to show you, Bob. This is one of your syringes used to squirt that blue stuff that everybody likes but me onto fillets. How do you like those little how do you like those little syringes, Howard? I like them fine. Here's another one that's used for your favorite Tight Bond 3. Yeah. And rather than dumping it after I'm done, I just put a cap on it. Well, I never even thought about doing that. What did you make the cap out of? It's just a elastomeric cap, like some people give you on fuel tanks when you buy a fuel tank. Oh, okay, yeah, those little red things. Yeah, I got some of those.
The vacuum caps.
Mm-hmm. I never even thought about doing that. Well, I'm surprised.
Hey, Phil, thanks for coming in. And Bob, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Phil. Hi, Bob.
Hey, how are you? It's like everybody's having a good time tonight. That's the first time I've ever seen Howard shop when it didn't look neat as a pin. I'm impressed, Howard.
Oh, okay. He is mortal.
Yeah, not only is he mortal, but a clean desk is a sign of a sick mind.
Yeah.
I used to always say a stallion does not have a clean stall.
That's it. That's it. Howard, there's one thing to remember when I heard you broke a bit off. There's one thing to remember when you're building. When you're up to your butt in alligators, it's sometimes increasingly difficult to remember that your initial objective was to drain the swamp.
Yes.
You get the cleanest mind around.
My wife just told me my shop's a mess, and she's right. Oh,
So is mine.
yeah.
Mine is too.
That's the reason the camera's up here in the dining room instead of downstairs in the shop.
Oh.
I'd be scared for anybody to see my shop.
Well, you can show us
I'll
in
go
the
back
after
to
party. No one will see it if you show us in the after party.
Well, the last two people to see my shop are still wandering around down there somewhere.
Oh, it's too funny. Here comes Mark Lumen here.
Hey, Mark, good to see you, buddy.
Hey guys.
Hey, tell me something. Did you and Train get together for the weekend the other weekend?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, you
He
turkey.
We come over and had a really good weekend. Really,
That's good. I was hoping you was going to do that in a few weeks, and I was going to come down to it too. Oh well, maybe another time.
We'll do another.
Sounds like a plan. That sounds like a plan.
It was a good weekend. I tell you, Tryon is just a wealth of knowledge. You know,
there's about 4 of them that you can train if you want to know any kind of new technology stuff. Give him a call. Bob Hunt, if you want to know anything stunt, you call him.
exactly.
Except how to drill a control horn.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I have been stumped a few times over the years and call Bob and he says, and he just spits out this simple, easy simple, easy way to figure it out. And I'm sitting there, why the heck didn't I think of that? I'm supposed to be smarter than this.
It's just time and grade, man. Just time and grade.
Time and grade, right?
Okay. That brought a weird story. A few years ago, we had a foreign exchange student, and I was still a national service tech, so I was home. One of my rare occurrences at home on the weekend or through the week actually, and I'm filling out my expense account. So I'm over here filling out the expense account, and Jeopardy's playing, and my daughter and Celine are watching Jeopardy. Well, I kept telling the answers, just kept spitting them out. So the final Jeopardy answer came out, and I answered it right quick. Celine looks over at me and she says, "You're pretty smart, Mr. Bailey."
Yeah.
And Crystal, the love of my life, my youngest, Says he ain't so darn smart. He's just lived a long time.
Well, that goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Really
I'm
goes
telling
hand.
But Bob's got a memory like a steel trap. He remembers years. He remembers
I got a what?
dates. A memory like a steel trap. You
What's
remember?
What about it?
That's funny. You know, Bob, I like what your dad said about if you're trying to do something and it doesn't work, try it the opposite way or try it in reverse.
Yeah, my dad taught me that three-dimensional thinking very early on, and it's almost indispensable. Is if first off, he said if you can't figure something out, look at it from 180 degrees out. Look at it from completely the opposite way of trying to do it, and usually that works. And the other thing he taught me was how to look at something from any dimension or from any perspective around it or from the inside out. And that's just basic thinking, you know, and that's not something, you know, that I think you can be taught that. I don't think that's something that's a natural talent. I think if you have somebody who's always reminding you to do that, you could sort of learn that. He was great at being a machine designer, you know.
That being said, at a contest one time in Winston-Salem, Bob came down and so did Casminato and a couple others. We had a really good little contest. But anyway, I had left out a maneuver, and Bobby's over here flying. I watch Bob flying, and he's talking to himself. I've never seen Bob talk to himself. So I said, all right, Bob, the talking to yourself, what are you doing? He says, telling myself the next maneuver. Mm-hmm. I said, from reading lips, I thought you was over calling yourself a few names for the way something went wrong. But I said, how the heck do you remember all your maneuvers? Because you never forget. And without skipping a beat, he pulls a card out of his pocket.
That's not true that you never forget. It's true that you only should do that one time forget, and then you find a way not to forget.
Yeah, well, I like the little card. I've carried one ever since. One side's old time, one side's modern. So help me, no joke. My wife was getting ready to leave her job, getting ready to retire, and I got her to take and make me a little card, and she was going to laminate it. And I put all the maneuvers for old time on one side, all the maneuvers for modern on the other. I left out one maneuver on each pattern.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So I still have to carry a little card that's not laminated.
The first thing I do, the very first thing I do when I'm teaching somebody, if somebody comes and wants to learn to fly stunt, and they've already started doing it, and generally people, you know, they get bad habits, you know, and you got to break it down. You got to go back to the basics. And this one guy could fly, but the problem was he was putting one lap between one maneuver and 6 laps between the next maneuver. He was doing one upwind and one side wind and doing them out of sequence. And I said, his name is Tom. I won't go to his last name. I said, Tom, we're going to go back to the very beginning.
Luciano.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to count laps. When you take off, you're going to count when you go past that. Then you're going to count them out loud so I can hear it outside the circle. And then while you're doing those laps, you're going to say the next maneuver is out loud. And you're going to say reverse wing over. And you're going to start upwind. And we went through this whole thing for about 2 days. And finally, he's doing everything in sequence. And he's doing everything with the right amount of laps. And his flying improved immensely just from rudimentary stuff. It's not big chunks. It's little tiny things that add up.
Right. You know, when I'm flying inverted, those laps are more difficult to count because I can't figure out why, but that is more perplexing when I'm flying inverted to count those laps. Because my plane might hunt more and I'm having to do a lot of corrections. And so I'm, you know.
Well, think about it. When you first learn to fly inverted, people say you do it elongated horizontal 8s, right? And you keep flying the outside portion longer. Well, that's a good way of doing it. But the problem comes when you have to make the first step in the other direction. When you're not doing a lazy 8 anymore, you're going to do a full lap. And now you're thinking down is up and up is down, or however you think of it. And then you got to make that first step, and your mind overloads and you just get full up.
Yeah.
Pow.
Yeah.
So it becomes a sequential thing in learning. You have to find a way to get that one thing down so well that the next thing your mind can work. It's the same thing in playing music. You have to be so the music has to come so automatic that you can think about singing and not just think about the music. Well, the same thing in stunt flying. You got to get to the point where your control motions are so automatic, you can then think about other things. And there's no easy path to that. You just got to practice.
You know, I think
Right.
from a beginner standpoint, myself, something that I think Michael attests to this also. You know, in the skydiving world, we do a thing called dirt diving. You know, so that, and I started going over this in my mind because I can't quite turn circles yet because of the knee, but I can set and visualize and go over the movements in my head. It may sound totally simplistic, but to sit there and just look at it and do the hand movements, and practice it before. I think that
Imaging, yeah.
Can I tell you something Can I tell you something that'll help you with that?
Sure, absolutely.
If you have a door in your house, it's a double door, big enough for two doors, an opening. Now mine is between this room, the dining room, and the living room, and it's right in front of the picture window. So all the neighbors see me when I stand there. You come up to this double door, and you put your heels where your heels are right up to the where the line would be if you drew a line right through the center of the door facing to the center of the door facing. Your heels are there. So when you look up, you're looking straight up. You see the center of that door face over your head. All right. That's straight up. All right, you got enough room with a double door to reach out. Practice your maneuver and learn where 45 is. Figure out where 45 would be, and then practice in your mind hitting that thing every time. And your overheads are the same thing. You got room to do your overheads, but you're looking straight up. And then it comes automatic. And when you get out there with an airplane, the guy started asking me, "How did you suddenly learn how to hit straight over your head so quick?" Because I'd been having a lot of trouble with it. I said, when Tom Dixon came over at the contest and was trying to tell us some hints and tricks, when y'all all thought it was stupid to stand there and look goofy like that, well, all my neighbors think I'm crazy as crap because everybody in this neighborhood walks. And they all look at the nut, But
when you're doing it, it's okay.
when somebody like Bob Hunt or Tom Dixon tells me something, I listen.
When Robbie was coming up the ladder, Robbie learned how to fly the pattern in 1 week. When he decided he wanted to fly stunt, as a father, I was going to be, sage and tell him, look, you got to be patient. It's going to take you a year to learn the pattern. You're going to lose a lot of airplanes. Be patient. We'll fix them and all that. And he just kind of looked at me and, okay, a week later, he was doing the whole pattern. 2 weeks later, he took second in his first contest and then went to the Nats and took second. Kids today are much quicker than we are because of the eye-hand coordination they get from video games and things like that.
Yes.
So at any rate, one of the things, and he got really good really fast. He was really good flyer when he was young. And he's
also really smart.
He is smart, smarter than his old man, that's for sure. But he would be in his room and I'd knock on the door and I wouldn't get an answer. I'd open the door and he had the headphones on and he's flying the pattern against the wall, just like you said, using the edges of the wall for straight up. And he did it over and over and over with all the hand motions, and that's imaging, and that will ingrain that in you much quicker than trying to do it with an actual airplane at the end of the lines.
Yeah, and you can't crash.
Well, that's just it. It's like reset
hey, Bob,
in a video game.
How old was Robbie when he learned the pattern?
12.
He was 12. How long had he been flying before that?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, so he just went right to that, and then that's really good.
And the way we talked was I put my hand over his hand and went through the maneuvers until I felt him anticipating ahead of me what the airplane was supposed to do. Then I let his hand go, and he never crashed an airplane learning the pattern. He learned it in a week.
Okay,
that's pretty impressive.
I knew he was smart, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah, Sam's
that
learning
kid really is talented.
Was a little bit longer than that. I mean, he started flying when he was 5, but when he was 7 and 8, he started doing loops, and then I think he was 9 when he did his first figure 8s and inverted flight. And then after he nailed inverted flight, he was 10 when we started working on the pattern, and he flew his first whole pattern at 10 years old. But he was crashing a lot of airplanes too. At 10 and 11, he was still crashing planes, doing stuff in the wrong place or some of it was my fault too. Bad engine run or engine quit on him, stuff like that. But
The only crash Robbie ever had was with his first RD1. He was flying inverted and the engine shut off, and he tried to bring it over and it stalled and went in and crashed. But he never
Really?
drove one into the ground. And even to this day, he's never driven one into the ground.
oh well, my son's got that beat. He's driven a bunch of them into the ground.
Yeah, I'm
Guys, let
I
me
have
just
too.
up for a second. Hi, Mike. Thanks for coming in. And Carl, thanks for coming in. And Carl, by the way, I muted your mic because I was trying to get rid of this noise I heard. So you have to unmute yourself. And Peter, I muted your mic also, but I was trying to get rid of this noise. So you need to unmute your mic if you want to speak. And hi, John. And we're going to let Jim Smith
John.
come in.
There you go.
And
Carl,
yeah,
Carl, did you get the pincher package?
You got to unmute your mic, Carl.
Okay.
Well, you're throwing it. Okay.
Okay, he got him. Well, Carl, we
can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Carl. You got to unmute your mic.
can't hear you because your mic's unmuted. But okay, but you got him. Those things were out in the ether for like 3 weeks, man, and they finally came. They came back to my house and said it was a bad address, and then I shipped them out again the next day. But it looks like you got them. So
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I did. I got them. Thank you very
Okay.
much. I
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
You're
But
welcome.
you know, you talk about looking goofy when you're trying to learn how to do maneuvers with the aircraft at work. I was at work walking down the hallway and I was looking up at the ceiling. I was going like this with my arm. And my clerk came out of the office and goes, "Carl, are you on drugs?" I go, "No, what are you doing?" She says, "Well, I'm flying my airplane." She just laughed.
But you got to remember, even when we're flying at the Nationals, we still look goofy. We're just among friends who don't understand.
And you know that helps because Charles can say this that I'm doing figure eights now. They're sloppy,
Yeah.
but I'm doing them.
Yes, yes, you are. You definitely have made marked improvements, Carl. Absolutely. I'm going to give you better and better planes now.
Well, I tell you what, it looks goofy and all that, but I was at the Nats, my first Nationals, and I saw Casminato standing over air flying. I call it sky flying. There's blue skying is what we call it. And I saw Casminato doing it. At the time, Kaz was a really good flyer. I haven't seen Kaz in many years, but the last time I saw him, he was a terrific flyer. I imagine he still is. But then I saw one of the other guys do it that was named flyer. So people do it. People do it. A lot of people don't want other people to know that they do it.
It's called imaging, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
Well,
do that. But you do that. Tom Dixon says if you do that, he says 40% of your flying ought to be without an airplane. And it took me a while to figure out he meant imaging. But I finally told him what I did, and he says, well, don't stand in the doorway. Put your heels in the doorway. Then when you look up, straight up is straight up. It's not slightly in front of you. It will be straight up. Charles, I'm in awe of that shirt. I love that color of that shirt.
Show of hands. Show of hands. How many people during the day, for whatever reason, just go out and make like they're flying, just even a couple of maneuvers? How many
Well,
people
at home, yeah.
I do it at home and sometimes at work, like I was just explaining, just because I'm bored.
Yeah. Well, I got some neighbors that think I'm stark raving lunatic from seeing me do it, but
you know, I think a lot of
they think
it
I'm crazy anyway. They think I'm crazy anyway.
I think
I'm
part of it
rides bicycles. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I think part of it's fear
My
too.
wife knows I'm crazy.
Hey, Mike Lonke wants to speak. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I got a question. The
Okay.
first one, has anybody noticed the 8x8 menu has changed now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm not the only one seeing that. So my question is, I finally I swapped that motor out, the Tom Dixon that had the stripped heads on it. I put all the guts in a new case for Sam's Vector 40. And I'm planning on using a Big Art tongue muffler here. My question is that enough clearance from the fuselage where the exhaust holes are?
Yeah.
Those of you that have experience with tongue mufflers.
Yeah, sure.
That's like a 1/4 inch right there. I do have a Dubro extension laying there that I can stick on. That'll get it out to 3/4. and
That's fine.
it could probably use the nose weight though, because it
Okay,
balances.
then put it in.
Then
40.
put it-
Balance is right on the money right now. So if I put that on it and a spinner on it, it'll probably help bring the balance in a little bit.
Give you a little hint about them tongue mufflers too.
Okay.
You notice they got a lot of holes in them.
Yeah.
Well, it's not necessarily you want all those holes open.
Okay.
Sometimes back pressure is a really good thing, especially like an Aero Tiger 36. You'd be surprised how many of those holes we plug up with little set screws. We tap all the holes, and we'll be running like 6 or 7 set screws in there.
Okay.
The back pressure on the thing, because sometimes these things are hard to control. Some of them have so much power that you can't control it. And
right.
Back pressure will make it run better. So
well,
not the engine, but some engine.
It's been my experience because I have run a bunch of these Tom Dixon LA-46s, and I have a bunch of big art mufflers, and on the profile models I've actually opened those size and opened them up a little bit to get a little more power. But this is okay. But this is the first inverted on a full-bodied ship, and I just wondered if it was a little too close for comfort. How much stuff am I going to get in the cowl, and is it going to get all junky up in there? So, but if I need the weight, if I need the nose weight, putting that extension in certainly isn't going to hurt anything, right?
No.
Okay. All right.
If you're worried about getting crap,
thanks for
if
coming
you're worried
in,
about getting crap in the cowl, run a gasket. Make you a gasket out of it. Yeah, make you a good gasket.
Okay.
You'd be surprised how much crap you won't get in the cowl.
All right. Well, I'm going to button this up, and then I'm going to make sure I don't forget that I wrote my note on there for tip weight. And I gotta crank down the adjustable lead out guide too. That's loose as well.
So that's an important one.
That's definitely.
All right, I'm gonna turn my mic off and finish these things before I forget to do them. And I'll see you in a little bit.
What else I do, Mike? I actually put some Scotch tape over the screws for the tip weight box, just as a secondary safety measure.
I usually slap a little piece of fast cal over the top.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That'll work.
Does anybody else have problems with things like those little square weights that we use for wingtip weights? You buy 3 or 4 bags of them, and as soon as you get to the point where you really need one to finish a new airplane, they have grown legs and walked away.
Yeah. You know what else? I can't find black Sharpies. Black Sharpies and lead weights. They are hard to find.
I don't know what it is.
What ends up happening is like what ended up happening with me with these damn screwdrivers. I can never find one. Next thing I know, I've got like hundreds of them. They all mysteriously appeared.
Man.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was out and flying with Charles one day and he needed some weights. And I go, hey, I just picked up a package up at the hobby shop that's close by. So I went to my flight box, and for the life of me, I couldn't find them. So then we came home, and since then I bought a new flight box, and I was sorting things out, and there they were at the bottom of the box, brand new package I was trying to get. So I understand.
Do what?
Well,
they just went on a little vacation.
I don't know how that always works out, but it's always in the bottom under something.
Say that one more time, John. I didn't quite make that out.
I say they just went on a little vacation and snuck back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's just like I talked. I had a Super Tiger univalve and spray bar assembly, and I said, okay, I'm gonna put this away somewhere where it won't get broke and it won't get lost, and I'll know where it's at when the time comes. Well, the time came. I couldn't find the damn thing. Forgot where I put it. But I eventually found it, though.
Hey, Bob. Bob.
Yo.
I got a question. Do you remember somebody by the name of Jimmy Lee or Jim Lee used to fly Flush and Meadow?
Yeah.
Jim Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Whatever happened to him? He's the guy who taught me how to wrap lines years ago.
Jim Lee, he's out in Topeka, Kansas.
Like Lee's Machine Shop, right?
Yeah.
He's not. He's still not active.
Lee Machine Shop. Yes.
He is.
Yes,
You
he's
know,
active.
this was New York, Flushing Meadow Park.
Very
We used to go there.
Very active.
Oh, okay. I need to get his contact information.
Actually,
He's
if you go on Stunt Hangar on Vendor's Corner, I believe he has a site there.
Oh, okay.
Lee Machine Shop.
Lee Machine Shop.
Oh,
You need
Bob, Jim started out.
this-
Jim started out in Flushing Meadows.
Jim Lee?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
there's a
No, I
fellow.
think he's always been in
That's what
Kansas.
Peter. That's what
Yeah,
Peter's
there's a
asking.
fellow there.
You
A
talking about
guy in
Clarence
Flushing
Lee?
Meadows.
No,
named Jim.
you're thinking about Andy Lee.
Andy Lee. That's
Andy
it.
Lee.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Andy Lee is still around. Yeah, he started at Flushing Meadows.
Two different guys.
Andy Lee is still around. Mm-hmm.
Two different guys.
Okay, I was just curious. I remember when I was I had to cut lines short one time and terminate lines. He showed me how to actually terminate flying lines and how to do line wrap.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Jim.
absolutely. I was Andy Lee. Okay.
Andy and
Jim Lee.
I'll tell you a story about Andy Lee. I've known Andy since we were both quite young. We were good friends for years. And in 1973, we went to the Nationals together. Now, Andy lives in New Rochelle, New York, and it's it's a city, and you can't see the stars, in the city. And we decided to go to the Nationals together. My mother's Rambler sedan, and we're driving out at night, and we're driving out through the Delaware, the Water Gap.
Delaware Water Gap.
Delaware
Yeah.
Water Gap. And we're going through there, and it's like pitch black, and you can see a million stars. And a shooting star goes by, and I saw it. He didn't. I said, "There's a shooting star." He said, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Shooting star." I said, "A meteor." He said, "You can't see those." And I said, "Were you kidding? You've never seen a shooting star?" And he says, "No, they don't. You can't see them." So I said, "Well, I'm going to turn the lights off." Back then, we were young and stupid. I'm going to turn the lights off. You look up at that piece of sky for a couple of minutes. I'm driving in dark. and as if on cue, one goes right across the sky, and he freaked out. He had never seen it before. It was really funny.
That is funny.
Oh, gee.
I can tell my story.
I was just curious to see if he was still active, what he was doing.
He's very well. He's not as active in modeling anymore. He's very big into guitar playing. He's been a guitar player most of his life, and he does a lot like I do. He does a lot of open mics and things. But he's also into motorcycle riding. But he still has an interest in the airplane. I see him quite often. Talk to him quite a bit.
Oh, cool. No, give him a hello from Peter Navarre. He probably won't remember me at all because
I'll tell him.
But I do remember him. I was curious to know
if
you
really
knew him. If he was
guy.
Hey, Denny, thanks for coming in.
Hey, Danny.
Hey, evening, everybody. How you doing?
Good.
Doing great.
All
Well, I
right.
have two people want to speak. Mark Lumen, go ahead, and then Howard Rush, you're next after Mark.
Yeah. Hey, I was just wondering, Charles, is there some kind of setting, and maybe just because of the new format? Like right now, I don't see anybody's video, just me and just you. And then when they break squelch or noise, their picture comes up. But otherwise, it goes blank. Is that something is that a setting, or anybody else having the same issue?
No.
Don't know if it's a setting. It might be just a internet issue. I know sometimes what happens to me sometimes, your images I get ghosts. I get like these characterizations of a ghost, and I have to wait till my internet connection comes back. But I'll look on YouTube and it says excellent connection, so I don't freak out.
Mark, go to the three dots and change it from HD down to standard definition.
Okay.
That might help too. Yeah, I put mine to standard when I start the show myself personally.
I pretty much went to standard. Yeah, I'm at standard.
Drop it one more. And
Then we go to low.
Gotta get low.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. That's a
Obviously on the bottom of the screen, have you put the one that's a toggle tile view?
What's
yeah.
that?
Bottom menu? Okay, and you're still only getting one screen at a time?
Well, now they're starting to show up. So maybe it was the video setting for sure. Yeah.
All right, Howard, you have the mic.
My Andy Lee story. I met Andy Lee at the 62 Nats, and one of my buddies that went with me somehow didn't get entered into combat, and Andy said, "I'm not going to fly combat. I'm signed up for it. You be me." So this guy was Andy Lee for the week, and he didn't win, which would have been kind of embarrassing. But that's my Andy Lee story. Last time
who
I saw
won?
it was in '71, I think, at Drummond.
All right, I'll tell you another Andy Lee story. 1972, I was flying the F-105 Thunder Chief, and he had his, I think it was the Gene Paulette, not the Zephyr. What was the twin boom one? The Gene Paulette airplane.
That was the
Pegasus?
The Pegasus.
Pegasus.
Was another
Pegasus.
one. Anyway, yeah, I think it was the Pegasus. The Zephyr was the other one. That's right. So he's flying the Pegasus, and I had this Volvo 544, that humpback Volvo, and somebody had taken a wet grease rag and put a peace sign on the truck. And we were both hippies at the time. We had long hair, and we were, hippies. And we decided to go to a contest in Westminster, Maryland. And we left about 1 a.m. And we had airplanes, and the whole interior of the car was gutted. And we had airplanes strapped all over the place. And we got stopped by the cops. And it was like 2 a.m, and the cop stops us, and he says, what are you guys doing out at this hour of the morning? And he said, well, we're going to a model airplane meet, officer. And he looked at the car, and he saw the airplanes, and he says, get out of here. Just leave.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Andy.
Hey, Mark Lumen.
Yes, sir.
You probably sent me an email, but I got your
I
order
did.
in today.
Okay.
But I can't find your email. So
Okay.
you need to send another one for me.
Alrighty.
And give me your address so I'll know where to send this to. And Philip,
Yes, sir.
I need you. Did you get your email today?
No, I didn't. But I haven't. Let me look. I haven't really jacked much today. I've been
Well,
working
I just need your address, and I need to know. I'm going flying in the morning. I need to know if you want that kit of the handle.
I want 2 of them.
Oh, you want 2? Okay,
Yeah.
$40 a piece. So
Yeah.
I'll have to call Wayne.
You gonna send me the clips with it?
You ain't making your own clips yet?
Are you kidding? No. I've got the bender. I have the bender. I don't have the wire. I got some wire in, and I thought I was in high cotton. I got the bender from Mr. Lee, and I thought I was in high cotton, and I bent it, and I made a flight, and I made another flight, and I said, it feels a little different. And Tommy noticed that the hooks had come to about one more flight, and I'd lost the plane.
Wow.
So the wire was obviously too soft. So I threw that batch of wire away.
Did you order the stainless steel wire from Jim Lee?
No, I got it from the place we get all the hardware from. Place.
You need to get a hold of Jim Lee and order some of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
And I'll try to get Wayne to take a picture for you. We modified ours just a little so that they're slightly wider.
Mm-hmm.
And they fit.
Going to handle a little easier.
Yeah, well, the handle, and they go in the line clips to your handle and to your plane a little easier.
That
So,
sounds good.
Mark, did you send me your email?
That's what I'm looking at. What's your email again? Is it Fly Stunt?
It's Stunt Flying.
Stunt?
S is in Sam, T is in
Yeah.
Tom, U is in N, U is in umbrella, NT, Stunt, Fly, FLY, and then the letter N. Stuntflyn at
Yeah.
gmail.com.
Huh. I see that it went, but I guess it didn't go through. Let me
No,
give you a minute.
I probably lost it, is what
It's all
happened.
good. Okay.
I got so much email, it's ridiculous.
Well,
Hey,
that's good.
You're
you
a popular
guys,
fella.
you guys want to see what we how we travel?
Yeah, that'd be fine. I got
Okay.
you're nice and big now, Jim.
Okay.
And Jim, I see the email you sent me. I haven't read it, but I'll look over it. I just haven't had a chance
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, you're good right now.
Okay.
I just said toggle camera. There we go. Okay. So my cat likes to travel too. What this is a just PVC, and we put it all together. It's a nice wide base, and then you just use elbows and couplers and things like that. And once you get it all together, we can actually put 3 full-size airplanes in this car, stacked up just like this. You know, you rotate them if they got the landing gear on them.
Okay.
This is the retract ship of mine, and I just finished my spinner, and we have a
That cat's looking for trouble. Keep
yes,
away from the airplane.
Yes, he is. He's always looking for trouble. So the next plane would stack up here, and then we'd put another one of those, and we'd stack that up, and then we tie it down. Like when we go to the Nats, we can carry 3 in one vehicle, or we just haul a trailer, and then we can put a bunch. We'll have a trailer, but Wayne's not going. So anyway,
Jim, what vehicle is this?
this is a 2013 GMC Yukon Denali.
Okay.
It's like a Suburban. You know, it's long.
Jim goes first class.
I was gonna say, sounds like an Econobox to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, 22-foot long Econobox. So.
Hey, I'll show you something about this car. When I bought the car, I got a good deal on it, but 2 of the seats up front were messed up. They just had a leather panel in each of the bucket seats, and an upholsterer. I've had some upholstery work done before. That would probably cost you about $700 to have a upholsterer do it. But let me come around here a minute. Okay, and I'll show you this. There is a company out there that's called Catskin, Katz. You can see the interior. It's called
nice covers.
It's called Catskin, and you can see the name. I'll slide it down there so you can see the name. Right here. Let me lock that in. But let me tell you about this deal. This is the best deal I ever seen. This has 3 rows of seat. This is the label, and it says cat skin. And what you do is these guys are out of California, and you order, and they have all these templates built for all kind of seats. This has 3 row seats, and for $2,000, they redid every seat in this car. I got to pick the color of the seat. I got to pick the insert color. I got to pick the stitch color, all that stuff. So if you ever got to get upholstered, that's the way to go. It's pretty nice.
It looks good.
Yeah.
So how was it installing them? You obviously had to install them yourself.
No, you don't. In fact, it's about 3 miles from my house. They have
Okay, so it's close by to you.
Yeah, well, they have distributors all over the country. And what they do is you order it. I got it in like a day, and then they called, like I ordered on Thursday. Monday, they called me and said, hey, we're ready to install this. I ran up the street, dropped the car off, and when I came back later, everything was in there.
Nice.
I mean, they even even the backs here. Let me make sure you can see it. They redid all the back. They redid the little flap. It's all genuine leather, really nice leather. So that was a good deal.
Jim, how do you get the measurements for your seats? Did they do that for you, or did you do that yourself?
Yeah, they do that. You just tell them, you give them the VIN number of your car, and they look it up, and then they can tell exactly what you got in there, and then they just go to their stack of templates. And what it does is it comes in a box, maybe 1.5 by 1.5 by 3 foot tall, something like that. And it has your whole interior inside. And what they do is on the seats, they go under the seat, there's some little springs in there that they undo, and then there's some more inside the seat that go into the foam, and they take all those out, and then they can just roll that leather. I mean, what you get when you buy it from the factory is a cover just like this. They roll that back. If your foam was damaged, they'll put new foam in for you. And then they got these little S hooks that is, as you're putting it back on, you put those S hooks back into the foam, and that's what holds it in there.
Yeah.
So it's pretty nice. It's a good deal. So anyway, Mark, did you send me that email?
I did.
Okay. Let me toggle up. I got to get to bed here pretty soon.
All right. You going to a contest?
No, but I'm going flying in the morning.
All right. Might as well get ready early. That's my big downfall. I don't get ready in the evening. I get ready in the morning.
Yeah. No, I bring it inside the garage so I don't get any dew on it, because I have to get up about 6 and then be at Wayne's house at a few minutes after 7, and then it's about 45 minutes down to the field. So we get there at 8 o'clock when the winds are good.
Did everybody see today that Jim on Stunthangar, that Jim volunteered to do the computer services at the Nationals this year?
Yeah.
Who did?
Jim.
Jim.
Yes.
Very, very good, Jim.
I'll send you a package of stuff.
You're going to be a busy man.
While I'm taking care of stuff, let me ask Howard something. Howard, I have checked out your program, and I have a question for you.
All right.
One, I'll get Dave. Is it okay if I get Dave Tribble to give me your email address and your phone number?
Certainly.
When I undoubtedly have questions.
I'll send it to you too.
Here's the second thing. They'd like me to bring 2 computers.
Yep.
Which I can bring 2 laptops. I don't know about the printer. I don't know if somebody's got a printer there already or what, but
Tampa has.
Hey, Jim, if you need a printer, I can give you one.
Oh, great.
Okay,
Jim, you and I are local to each other, so if you need a printer, I've got a brother laser printer that I can let you use.
Yeah, if it's
Okay.
you know, it doesn't have to be giant or nothing, but
No, it's
Yeah,
it's,
it does.
it's
Well,
about Jesus, it's about a foot. It's a foot square by about 9 inches. It's a brother laser.
It has to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I'm
If you need
eyesight.
one, I've got one that is good to go. All you have to do is download the drivers, and you're good to go.
okay. So I understand it pretty well, and the main thing is don't get around those macros, Howard. But the other question I have is you need to use Excel 97 to well, you don't use Excel 97, but you got to have one at least that good. Now, I subscribe to Microsoft 365
Oh.
on both computers. Both computers are running Windows 10, and I can easily run. You know, I've run a lot of stuff. I mean, old stuff. I also have, but it's the same version. I have Excel. One's a Windows machine. One is a Mac machine. And my question is, have you ever done any testing on a Mac before?
No, please don't use a Mac.
Come on, Howard. You maybe go try to find another one.
If it's got Excel on it, it should open up an Excel file from.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bill Rich showed up at the at the team trials once with a Mac, and I couldn't get into the macros to diagnose the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, please use a Windows machine. We can talk about this.
Bless you.
Well, what I'll do is
elsewhere.
My sister is pretty good at Excel as well, and I will make a duplicate copy. And while I'm going to do some test runs, you know, to make sure I know what I'm doing.
Let me show you a more recent version. I got one from Dave. What version of the program do you have?
What's that?
What version of the program do you have?
Pretty much Excel 365 is pretty much any version you want.
No,
you can save stuff.
What version of the Stunt program do you have?
If it's an XLS file, .xls file.
No, I know what you're talking about. That was the other question I had: is do I have the latest version?
Yeah,
you would. If you subscribe to 365, you definitely have the latest version.
Peter, you're talking about the Stunt program, Peter.
Yeah, the Stunt program. Howard has software, and we need to know what version of software I have of the Stunt program.
Yeah, I'll send you the most recent one.
Okay.
And a bunch of other stuff. And although I'm glad Peter's here, we're boring the other people, so we probably should have this conversation.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right.
For me.
Let me get a chance to say hi to Al. Hey, Al, thanks for coming in.
Hey, Charles.
And Lynn Burrell is trying to come in. This is his third time trying to get in here. And
there he is.
There he's coming.
And and by the way, Mike wants to say something. Go ahead, Mike.
Just from the Peanut Gallery here, Bob Hunt. Really is who I'm asking. How much tip weight should I start with on this Vector 40 ARF? What's the consensus?
Well, what I would do, I do for a starting point, I always go back to what I learned from Billy Simons. You put the lines on the airplane, have somebody hold the handle, and then you put your fingers along the bottom of the airplane longitudinally, and see if the airplane falls to the inboard side. If it does, you add the tip weight until it balances on your hand. That's a good starting point.
Okay. Well, I got to be at the field to do that. What would be a good starting point just in my shop tonight?
Put an ounce in.
Put an ounce. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine has
Yeah,
mine
First off, is that an equal panel wing or an unequal panel wing?
unequal panel.
Unequal.
Yeah, maybe 3/4.
It's unequal. I have 3/4 in mine, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what I need. Thank you.
Mhm.
Well,
You're welcome.
one of the little bench things I've read before about is you take your model and you balance it along the longitudinal axis of the fuselage, and you put a weight, a scale underneath the outboard wing,
Mhm.
and you just make sure that wing is, heavier, usually 3/4 of an ounce or something, just as a starting point.
Yeah.
And then you can take it out, but
Yeah.
it's
Everything's gonna be
better than not having enough.
everything is going to be a starting point for sure. And again, if you can, again, the way I learned was the same thing. Longitudinally, put your fingers along the bottom of the fuselage, have the lines out, and have somebody hold the handle so the lines are supported, and then see if the airplane falls just slightly to the outboard side. That's a good starting point. Hit tip weight until it offsets the weight of the line. You got to remember, the lines also have drag, and the lines also have inertia. So when you turn a corner, the lines are going to continue going in the direction they were going, even though the airplane's turned, and will tend to make the airplane roll. So there's an awful lot to it, and you really have to get a starting point and then go out and fly the airplane.
Yeah, there's no substitute for that. And then the other swag would be too much really won't hurt you any. Too little could make your life a little exciting. That's all.
Okay.
If it's too much, you'll see things when you do just what Bob described. You'll do a square corner or something like that, and you'll see the outboard wing drop or go to the outside. But usually it just makes for a funny looking corner. If you have too little, then you're looking at possible roll ups and white lines and weirdness like that. And again, with the vector, I can't imagine getting into a lot of troubles, but too much is easier to recover from than too little. So.
One of the local guys built a Williams Ringmaster. I don't know if any of you know what that one is.
Yeah.
I had never. It's the only one I ever saw, and I had the plans. I wanted to build one, and after seeing this one take off for its first flight, I'll probably never build a Williams Ringmaster because it took off and came right at him and went right over his head and disintegrated on the other side of the circle. It did a half a lap.
That's not a good omen. So no.
We got looking at the plane.
You're talking about a Walt Williamson Ringmaster?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Got looking at that thing and trying to figure out what had happened. And he said, I don't understand. It was straight. It was great. I got to looking. I said, I have but one question. Where's the tip weight? And his face just went blank. I forgot to put it in. I said, yeah, I know you did. I'm looking at the weight box. There's nothing in there. So there's what happened. The lines drug it in. So
that poor airplane has a problem, Phil, in that the wing is so low and the vertical center of gravity is
so
too high. And Keith Trossel, I believe, tried or flew one or whatever, and it was just it was always either try to roll out or try to roll in upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. If you could just build the thing with an inverted engine, it would be perfect. The thrust line is that high. If it had an inverted engine, the vertical CG would be right on. So
even if you put dihedral in, it would help.
Yeah, a bunch, I suppose, but yeah.
Well, that's what I was thinking. That's the two changes I was thinking about doing. Build if I ever built one, put an inverted engine in it and build it with an inch of dihedral.
Firecat had the same problem with the engine center line was so high above the wing center line.
Yeah.
It had the vertical CG was way off.
Yeah, same with the
plane was that?
Mustang, the Yak, all those ones like that. Yeah.
What plane was that?
The Firecat.
Firecat, yeah.
Firecat, yeah.
Jim Walker.
Yeah.
Whenever even if the wing had no warp in it, when you fly level up high, the airplane would fly level and the lines would come down from it. It wouldn't fly on the lines.
Yeah.
It was rolling to the outside.
Yeah. When Clayton designed the Teosaki, we kept telling him every one of them has to have an outboard tip trim tab. I said, Clayton, just put your lines lower in the wing. And Clayton's a combat guy. He just could not It just did not compute to him. So when I
Hey,
built
man.
mine, hey, Clayton was a great guy, but he was as stubborn as they come. But anyway, I built mine. I put the lines way down low in the wingtip, and for some reason, Clayton really trusted Kent Ticer. So Kent wanted to fly my airplane. I let him fly it, and he says, "What do you think of? What do you think of that? Where you put the wingtip, the wires? It just looks wrong." He says, "Clayton, that's the best flying one to date." I thought Clayton was just going to melt into the ground. He just, something that goofy, and it doesn't have a trim tab on it. I hate trim tabs.
Mm-hmm.
I have a plane that has it on there, my stunt wagon, but I hate trim tabs. All a trim tab is good for is getting your finger caught on or your rag caught on when you're trying to clean the thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're also famous for falling off at the most inopportune times.
Oh yeah, that'll happen too.
Yeah.
How much rate do I need to start? That looks about right. It's a little nose down, just a hair.
That's enough.
That ought to be right then.
That looks. I mean, it looks just a couple of degrees down. It's not obscene, but it's definitely nose down.
Looks to be about like 1.5 degrees.
Moving. All right, that's it. It's done. We're gonna send it. Hopefully this weekend we'll get to fly it tomorrow or Sunday. We got rain coming, but
yeah, us too. I'm hoping to fly in the morning, but
good
today,
starting point anyway.
The guys around here, we thought we were going to have a great weekend. It was beautiful, and all of a sudden we're getting hail.
Just to let you know, I got an 1.5 ounce of tip weight in mine.
1.5 ounces. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'll probably do the initial flight on it, and I'll baby it. Yeah. I went with the illustrious panel, as Charles likes to say.
Yeah.
And went with 3/4, but I'll do the first test flights on it, and I should go pretty quick if it needs more or not.
Hey, Mike.
We get to walk backwards.
Yeah.
Does the ARF have does the ARF have an outboard adjustable tab or on the flaps?
No.
No. Oh, that's okay. That's interesting. The kit version comes with an adjustable tab that you build into it. I'm just curious. Interesting that the ARF version doesn't have it.
I just wish they made these holes bigger to see the little screw for the lead out guide. That's all. Or maybe it's just my old eyes.
Me, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Your eyes ain't that bad. Your eyes ain't that bad. Peter, you talking about a Brodak kit or Randy's kit?
Yeah, the Brodak kit, the Brodak Vector 40, at least the one that I got quite a few years ago. You built it, and it had provision for an adjustable tab at the outboard wingtip on the flaps.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I know Randy's.
I actually have one. I have one right here, Phil and Peter. I think this is what Peter's talking about right here.
Yep, that's that. Yeah,
oh, yeah, okay.
That's it exactly.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if that hardware is what Brodak supplied or what.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. Yeah, you got the hardware as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I understand that Randy's version of that was a little bit bigger, but I don't know. I never built Randy's version.
It was.
Well, didn't Randy have another airplane that he called Vector?
I saw one of Randy's
the
first version at
it might give another way to do it like that.
There was a Vectra and then the Vector. Yeah, that's the other way to do it.
I like that. It's good.
All right. Well, there it is.
Huh.
Sam's Tampa plane for this year.
Very nice, Mike.
It is nice.
Hey, Mike, you don't have a Dinger 2 muffler?
No, I don't.
They work nice.
Are you talking
what is a Dinger 2?
For weight or just for how they run?
It only weighs an ounce.
Okay.
What is a Dinger 2?
Scott Dinger.
Scott
made
Dinger.
CNC ultralight mufflers for all kinds of stuff.
Does
Yeah.
he still make them?
Yeah, if you can
Yeah.
get them.
If you can get them.
If you can get them, yeah.
Well, Al, it sounded like you were volunteering to send one to Sam for his Pampa plane this year.
I could.
I'm just kidding. We're fine. I got plenty of stock mufflers, and I got several of the tongues. I got some of the big art muffler, the tongue mufflers. I've got some of the Tom Dixon ones, which I believe are they double stars or
That's how it looks without
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, by the way,
drove-
Denny, did you see the picture of your dad at the Toledo coverage in Model Aviation?
I sure did. That was pretty special, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're very light.
How do I
drill
get
it-
one of those? That's
I
nice.
drill it out a little bit more though, to 360.
All right.
Was that Bobby McDonald he was talking to?
It wasn't. I've been trying. I think I know who it is, but I can't for the life of me remember his name. So
I thought I recognized his stomach.
yeah, it was not. It was not Bob. It was. I'm not sure. It's not a pylon flyer actually. So. But Dad was funny. If you took him to the Toledo show, right, and you'd walk about 10 feet, stop, talk to somebody for 10 minutes, 10 feet later, stop, talk to somebody, and you do that, and it's like finally you realize it's like lunchtime and you haven't done one aisle,
How about it?
And then there's that one famous time we're doing that after he talks to somebody this time for about 20 minutes, turns to me and he says, "Do you know who that was?" You guys know my dad, you know that that's no exaggeration, the way he loved to talk and everything like that. But
you know the Toledo show was today. It started today.
Hey, I was going to ask if anybody had a chance to get out there.
I've got a little info on it anyway. Steve was going to go. He'll join us here shortly, I'm sure, because I talked to him a couple hours ago. John Paris and Jeff Traxler went.
Yeah.
And I think John is going back tomorrow. Steve started to head that way, but his back was not feeling well, and the potholes in Michigan were messing with his back. So he turned around and went back home. But I did talk to Ron Colombo. The Detroit guys all went down there. And Ronnie picked up a few things, a couple engines and some hardware, a couple of speed limit planes. But the general consensus from what Steve said that John and Trax said, and from what I got from Ronnie, it was mostly RC stuff, and the kits were eBay prices, and then the airplanes, a lot of half-built airplanes commanding big prices. Not a whole lot of deals to be had. It seems like everyone out there knows what a kit sells for on eBay, so the days of, finding a $30, $40, $50 kit are over. They just, they want 100, 120, 150 for these kits. They're not cutting loose of them because they know what they can sell them on eBay for. So
can take the balsa out of the kit and sell it for that much.
Right. Yeah, I think the thing is, you go to a swap shop. You go on a Friday, that's where all the best selection is. You go on a Saturday, that's where the best prices are. Nobody wants to hold that stuff back out in their truck, So
it could be better tomorrow, but it was just strange to hear that there was no deals on kits and even our RC kits, because we have 2 swap meets a year in Nashville. Of course, they were both canceled last year because of COVID, but I always find just great ripping deals at my local, the 2 swap meets that we have, like a third of the price of what a kit would normally cost you. You can walk out with something for $30 or $40 usually, but even Ronnie said the kits were way overpriced and nobody was coming down, and that could be first day swap meet, Friday. And you're right, Dennis, Saturday they're gonna drop their prices, but the little bit of dickering that he tried to do, the guy was like, I'm not going to let it go for that, because I can sell it on eBay for what I'm asking and get the shipping too, you know. So they just
find the guy that doesn't want to take it home or doesn't want to have to reload his truck about an hour before the thing's over.
Right.
Covers cable costs.
Well, I think the word is out on balsa, and kits are just not going to be cheap.
Nope.
Kits are not going to be cheap again. Ronnie said he found a couple of OS 35s, you know, some older OS 35s that he got a pretty good deal on, and like hardware and wheels and props. You can wheel and deal on that stuff all day long. But I think the balsa prices are definitely affecting the resale value of older balsa kits, and not just control line, but you know, RC as well.
Yep.
That is a huge point, though. Yeah, certainly.
Does anybody know offhand who makes? I've seen it, but I can't remember who makes it. The Thunderbird 2 kit, the 35 size Thunderbird 2 kit. I just saw 2 go on eBay, and I should have snapped one of them up, but.
Well, RSM makes one. I'm not sure what version they make, though.
RSM, I wonder about them, though, Dennis. The guy couldn't make his laser cutter work, so he sold it. So I don't know I don't know who's making his kits now, but I've heard the quality has gone to pot.
Yeah, I don't know anything about them.
That's good to know.
I have not seen one. I heard that from someone I don't know. I don't know the guy. I met him at a swap shop last weekend, and I don't know if he knows what he's talking about or not. So don't take that for gospel. But I was told that the guy could not make the laser cutter work, so he sold it. And someone else is cutting his kits for him now. And he said he didn't know what the quality was like, but he said it's not what it was when Eric Rule was running. So I don't know. I have not seen one. I have an RSM kit, but it's one when Eric Rule cut.
Yeah,
I have 2 of them.
The Pathfinder LE that I had was an older RSM, and it was fine.
So are you saying the current RSM laser kits are not up to snuff?
I don't know. That's what he told me. I have not seen one. That's the reason I say.
Okay.
That's the reason I say do not
But-
take that as gospel.
Well,
because
we're
I have
talking
not
about
seen it.
RSM kits, Eric's old company, and the
Yeah.
new guy that took it over. Okay, all right. Just wanted to make that
Eric,
clear.
if you get one that Eric cut, I have 2 of them, and they're nice kits. They are very nice kits.
Yeah.
But the new guy, I have been told, is not doing the job Eric was doing.
Okay.
And I don't know that to be true. So do not take that for gospel. That's just what I was told, and I do not know the man that I was talking to, other than he was telling me that I came the long way around to get to the meet, which I already knew. But like I told you Friday or Monday, it was last Saturday's meet in Raleigh was mostly foam RC planes.
Yeah.
And it was a waste
Well,
of time.
I
bought
had
4
heard
propellers.
I had heard that the guy that is building all those really kick-ass foam sheeted wings is retiring, and his last batch of wings are going to be the best ones of his career because he wants to go out on a high note. Man.
I got some old ones made by this company, CSC, I think. That was a pretty good outfit. I still got one of those flying, in fact, and so I don't know. Maybe you can look. I'll see if I can look those up. So.
Well, I heard this guy wants to go out on a high note, man. So like the quality is just going to be through the roof on these last.
How many kits does he have ordered, Bob? 2?
Yeah.
He must have
gold-plated foam beads, right, Bob?
I tell you what, just about everybody's ordered at least 2.
Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Yeah.
The biggest order I ever had from one person was Masaru Hiki. He ordered 6 Sonic Boom Wings at one time.
Wow.
Well, hey Bob, if I sell these 2 Ducatis for my friend and get my commission on them, I might be ordering 2 more, buddy.
Well, I'll give you a package deal.
If I can get these 2 Ducatis sold for my buddy and I get my commission, I might have to get 2 more. Because I'll tell you what, Bob, you know what? it wouldn't be unreasonable to expect for me to use 4 wings in the rest of my life. You know, I'm only 50 years old, and if I could have 10 of your wings, I would have them just to put them up so that I'd have, you know, who's going to take your place? There's going to be a huge void when you leave.
Well,
So,
you know, first off, you know, the hobby is getting to the point where, you know, it's diminishing. We know that.
yes.
And I'm not sure there's going to be a need in the future for what we're doing here. I mean, obviously, there's people out there still cutting foam wings, and they'll do well for us. And in a pinch, if somebody absolutely needs one, you know, in a pinch, if I can accommodate them, I will. But I'm just not going to do it as a business anymore.
Sure, I understand. You've done enough.
I'm 73.
Yeah.
And I want to get good at this stunt thing before I get old.
Yeah. Hey, Bob.
Yeah, I heard
Wait a
this
minute,
young
wait a
kid by
minute.
the name of
He's
Robbie
won
that's coming up, you know.
Yeah,
Hey,
he's not going to hold him back. He's coming back serious, I think. He wants to go to the team selection, and he's going to be really good. So.
I think Al might be trying to show us something.
Yeah, I want to. I got the bugs worked out of this thing. So you know, with the that shut off, I had successful flights.
Okay.
And I got it, you know, from McMaster car.
Okay.
Ran it through there, ran it under the spar, through there, you know, and then to the other, you know, the small fuel tubing.
Okay.
Onto the Nelson needle valve. But yeah, I got it flying really good now. I had it, you know,
And
a lot of
you
successful
figured out the launch technique for it and all that.
Yeah, well, I put a 1/2 ounce tip weight in it, and I fixed the warp in the wing. That helped a lot too.
Okay.
You know, and now it's you know, it's pretty easy to take off, and even you know when the engine shuts off, the lines stay tight. I want to show. I don't know if did you see these? They're Nelson glow plugs, but they're cut down to fit a glow driver.
Huh. Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, yeah. You get it from Dub Jet.
From W, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but the price went up because the glow plugs price almost doubled.
Wow. Yeah, they're like $8-9 now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, these are 9. You know, cut down.
Cut down. Well, luckily, I know a guy in Detroit that bought 500 of them 2 years ago.
Right.
So I still get the Bubba deal. I get the hookup deal on them.
Yeah, but what's nice about these though, you can just put the glow driver on it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be messing around with a glow driver on a Nelson. I would use it on a 1/2 or something.
No,
but on
I'll show you. You get the. I'll show you. You use the glow driver. You get the long one.
Okay. Yeah.
For the long for the RC cars.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I got a stubby. I got a little stubby.
Yeah, no,
so.
you don't want a stubby. I use this in speed limit too.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know, and then
that's
that
a
works
good idea.
good.
Great idea. Get your hand away from that prop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even with the clip, you got to come in there with the clip.
Right. Well, I hang my clip from the bottom, and then it's made to just fall off. Basically, it's barely hanging on. You know, it's barely. We modify them so that it's just barely hanging on, and all you got to do is hit the wire, and it falls off.
Yeah, but
of course, the prop blast blows it back.
But this bell crank was so close to the spar, I didn't want the fuel tubing to get mixed up in the line, so I dug underneath it.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to do it. There's plenty of guys doing it that way.
Yeah.
And then I like you use the fitting between the small two.
Well, because when I make my bladders, I don't make
tubing and your bladder
I
tubing.
run the fuel tubing all the way inside because I don't like the fitting there. This way you could. I fill my bladders from the back all the way down forward.
I got you.
So I could stuff it all the way in and fill it up.
I like the cotter pin pincher too. I've used that one.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, the old cotter pin.
Well,
that's
it's nice
a good way
too
to do it.
because it's on the plane, and if you go in,
It's on the plane. Right.
It's on the plane. You go in. The first thing he does is shut the fuel off. Then you don't have to refuel.
Exactly. That's why I like the IV clamps. I use the IV clamps as a pincher. How many?
And then I came through with the bell crank wire to there to hold the engine.
Hey, I have a question about your glow plug starter.
Yes.
Well, as long as it is, it sticks out further away from the glow plug, obviously. But that extra weight, do you have a hard time keeping it on the glow plug when you start it instead of?
No, not at all. I mean, the guy, somebody's holding the plane, and when these things, you hold the plane and hit it, it stays on fine.
Well, what if you have to flip it over 3 or 4 times to get it started? Will it still stay on?
Yeah, no, it stays. Yeah, it
Okay.
stays.
It's just like the other one. You
Well-
can always hold it with your hand too.
Well,
'Cause
I
it's
had
not that close.
I had a Great Plains glow plug starter, a stubby that had a meter on the bottom of it, and I had a hard time. Something happened to it where it wouldn't stay in the glow plug, and after I got done turning the
Fast
top
you
fluid
got
for it,
ready.
pardon? It would fall off the glow plug. It wouldn't stay on. So that's the reason why I was asking.
Okay.
Yeah,
Al, how many?
That type of starter, Carly, you actually push it on and turn it, and it locks on. So it's not like the one where you
The
grab
spring
it.
clip, the spring.
Yeah, but you push it in and turn it, and it locks on.
Well,
Unlike-
like you use.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Hey,
All right.
Hey, Bob Hunt, I got a quick question for you.
Yo.
All right, if you look at my camera, you'll see my picture of my
Hold on.
plane.
Where you at?
Well,
Bottom
I'm
left.
on the bottom.
Okay.
This is the question I have is the swab spray. This is a pretty good sized airplane, and I used about 7 3/4, maybe slightly more of the swab to mist on 2 coats. Does that sound about the right amount that you would use on a plane like this?
What are we talking about? The Z-Epoxy?
No, the swab. you know how you put the swab on?
Hairspray.
Hold on a sec. The swab?
The
Yeah,
hairspray.
the hairspray.
Oh, the hairspray. Well, I don't put it on the outside of the airplane. I put it on the inside of the skins before I sheet the wing.
I just
I only use that when I'm sheeting wings. It goes on the inside of the wing. I don't put any on the outside of the airplane.
Okay, well, it's on the outside. This one.
It's not going to hurt it. It's just cheap lacquer. It's like dope. It's really just
Yeah.
like dope. Yeah.
And I will tell you that it sealed it up pretty nice. So when I put on the Z-Epoxy, it really didn't take that much.
Well, that's a good idea. I never thought of using it on the outside, but that's a good idea.
Also,
That's
I
one
was
in a
gonna
row
show
for
you-
you, Jim.
One in a row. The other thing I was going to tell you, I made up a squeegee of 16th-inch plywood.
Yeah.
And I was squeegeeing on with that, and it was going good. It was working good. But I bought one of these at Dick Blick's. This is a silicone.
It's for body work.
Yeah, it's for body work. It's called a catalyst. This
Al
thing
Farrar
is
can
the
talk all about that stuff.
that is the cat's meow right there.
Here's
Because when
another
it
one.
gets,
Take a look at this one.
let me see.
Take a look at this one.
Make them bigger.
Is that silicone?
Yeah, and Joel Costantino gave me this, and you can put on so little epoxy and screed it out on the wing.
Oh
It's
yeah.
unbelievable how little epoxy you can get away with.
And when you wipe it off, when you're done and you wipe it off, it leaves just a hair there, and you can just take a paper towel with a little epoxy, and almost everything comes off.
Yep. Yep.
So those are good. I like
absolutely.
those.
I bought a whole
All
box.
right.
He gifted me a whole box of these, and of course everybody that comes to the shop steals one or two. So.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
too
guys,
far for me to go.
I gotta run.
You're safe. All right, Jim. Thanks for coming in.
No
See you,
problem.
Jim. Good night.
Yeah.
Take care.
I
Bye
got a
now.
little how-to there, Charles. If you have a minute, or if you need
Yeah,
to.
just give me a second. Mike wanted to say something, but let me first catch up on the chat. Timothy DeBoard said I know we passed this subject a long time ago, but he says, I just finished a Ringmaster S1. The plans did not call for a offset in the rudder and only 1 degree offset in the engine mount.
That's
So,
good.
That's fine and fine.
My opinion is don't put any rudder offset in any airplane.
Yeah.
and then Mike, go ahead, Mike, and then
Well,
Bob
just
Hunt,
wanna-
show us your show and tell.
Okay. I just wanted to ask Al, how many fast do you got ready for the Nats?
Well, I got 4 ready, but I have 4 ready.
Okay.
But
All right.
I just wanted to show you. I hit the wrong button, disconnected earlier, but that's how the glow driver sits. You know,
Oh, it stays on. Yeah.
it stays on. You can see it's lit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my iPad's dying. So.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I
I'm
just wanted to show
looking
you-
forward to flying fast with you at the Nats, buddy. I think we're going to have a good time.
Yeah. Oh, that's for sure. All right.
All righty. Thank you very much.
And Charles, I got a little show and tell when Bob gets done and
Okay.
when I get
Sounds
out
good.
of here.
I have a quick question for Bob regarding the rudder.
Yeah.
How about in certain instances they say sand and airfoil flat on the outboard side and airfoiled? Is that still you regard
I guess
as unnecessary?
Billy Ware once told I had an adjustable rudder on my Saturn, and I was having problems climbing. I was losing tension climbing, and he said, you got too much rudder offset. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, the airplane's coming down. Speed creates lift. So when the airplane is descending, it's speeding up, and the rudder is more effective. It'll push the nose out because it's got more airspeed and hence more lift, pushing the nose out. But when you reach the bottom of the maneuver and you start to go up, you bleed off some airspeed. Newton's law is equal and opposite reaction. It's going to go back the other way. And I was actually losing tension climbing. So we said, take the rudder offset completely out. It took out a little bit of the line tension in level flight, but it gave it more line tension in vertical, and it solved that problem of losing tension climbing.
Wow.
Okay, so you would consider having an airfoil sanded into the wingtip into the rudder being the same as having an offset.
Yeah, I would assume it's doing the same thing. It's a lifting rudder, and it's pushing the nose out when you're diving.
Right.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, this is just my opinion. Everybody's entitled to do what they want to do. But I'm more for using a little bit of motor offset now. And the reason I use more motor offset now than I used to use engine offset is because we're getting 14 power strokes essentially per revolution, 14 nudges. And it's holding the nose over constant, where when you had that 1 per revolution, you were getting this kind of action out of it. Now more engine offset or motor offset is viable for keeping tension. I think you see the electric airplanes are carrying more motor offset and not having any trim problems because of it.
The only reason I asked is because I believe the Sig Magnum, or basically the Magnum kit, the plans call out to sand that semi airfoil into the rudder, and that's basically the design of that particular model.
Well, I mean, again, it's personal preference, and it's what you feel works for you. I just don't believe in any rudder offset or any airfoil rudders or anything. I just believe in mounting them as straight as possible. If anything, 1/100 of a degree offset so you don't have an inset, But
So did the Ray rudder somehow mitigate that effect? The Ray rudder?
I think the Raby rudder is for other purposes.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Bob.
I flew Al Raby's airplanes, and one thing I didn't like about it was every time that Raby rudder would move, the airplane would yaw, and I didn't like the feeling of a yaw on the airplane. Now I realize that Igor and those guys are doing it perhaps for a different reason these days, and it seems to work for them. But I'm not going to induce any kind of yaw on my airplane.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Hey, that motor offset you're talking about, that's to pull the plane to the outside, right? So it doesn't come in on you.
Yeah.
So what happens when you go inverted? Won't it have the opposite reaction? Have a tendency to come in towards the inside of the circle?
No, the offset's offset. With the airplane, when you fly inverted, you're still offset.
All right. Okay.
You think about
And
it.
then-
Take
and
your
then
hand,
it's-
take your hand,
when you-
take your hand, take your hand and put offset in it. Then turn your hand over. It's still offset.
Yeah, but the offset's towards the inside now because you're inverted, right?
No,
No, it's not. It's still the
No.
outside.
Oh, it's not. Okay. All right.
Well, think about it.
And John Miller, and I guess has something to say for putting in a little bit of down thrust on the motor.
Well, that's
I like
airplane
it.
dependent, I think.
Say what?
That's airplane dependent. I mean, it's not across the board putting down thrust in. If you're using a reverse pitch prop, if you generally need a little bit of up thrust.
Right, but for
It runs more into P factor or gyroscopic precession or something to that effect than it does anything else.
it's exactly what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Whiteley taught me that.
Okay, I finally found my show and tell. This is for my
hang
big
on,
brother.
hang on, Denny. Hang on, Denny. Actually, Bob
Okay.
Hunt. Bob Hunt, I think, is next. But I look forward to you, Bob Hunt. If you're ready, Bob, go ahead and.
Yeah, it's gonna be a short one, Charles. All right, I think I showed you last time how I build the nacelles for my twins. I build them on a little fixture. Let's see if I have a fixture here, and I build the nacelles right onto this fixture, and the formers meet up to these vertical pieces, and I can build identical pieces. I have two of them here. See?
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now, in order to line up the airplane, when I first, and goes back to what we were talking about, reverse thinking. I said, how am I going to glue these nacelles onto the airplane and get them accurate to each other? And it dawned on me that you don't glue them onto the airplane. You glue the airplane onto the nacelles.
Right.
You put the nacelles on a fixture. Now, can you see this fixture I have here?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the inboard. So this one's going to fit right on here. And this one's going to fit right on here.
Nice friction fit. Nice.
Okay. Now, to measure this all out, they're exactly the same height from the exactly right to the thousandth of an inch.
Right.
And now you can tape these. Turn this sideways. Where this thing meets this vertical or this incline piece, you tape these on here so they can't move.
Right.
I'll just run this. Let me just tape this on real quick.
And you just slip the wing right in.
Huh?
And once you have it taped, then you can turn around and slip the wing right in, and they're both perfectly aligned.
Yep. Tape this on here. Tape this one on here. And we'll go over to the other bench where I have another twin.
All right. That is very nice.
This is going to be a fixed gear twin, not a retract twin. The one I showed you last week or a couple weeks ago was a retract twin. I'm going to move this over here.
All righty.
I'll move the.
Somebody has a radio or TV in the background. I've been trying to find out who it is.
That's probably me.
Please
That's
turn
probably
off.
me. Hold on.
Thank you, John.
Yes.
And by the way, Al Piero, he gave us a $19.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Al. And Al, I know this is not the first time you've done that, so I really appreciate it. And anybody out there listening, if you're watching this as a replay, please tune in to the live show so you can actually donate and contribute to the show.
Okay.
Did I get rid of the noise?
Yes, thank you, John.
Where you can see
No, I
this.
still hear it. No, I still hear it.
I'm going to slide this now into there. I can't do it, hold the camera and do it at one same time. So lay
Okay.
the camera down here.
All righty.
And maybe I can, I can do it this way. Hold on a second.
Sure.
No, it's still there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still there.
Elevate this. Okay, now you can see that. Okay, so now you can take the airplane, so you see the airplane going in, and you can see the airplane right into the nacelle. And line them up. I have lineup marks on the piece of foam that these stanchions are glued to, and now I can line up the fuselage to be right over the center line and have equidistant between the formers or the nacelles, and have everything line up perfectly. Let me just see if I can raise the back of this up a little bit.
Oh, we got the idea.
I still hear the background noise. If someone could mute their mic, I'd appreciate it.
All right, everybody got the idea?
Yep.
That is neat.
Yeah.
Yep, that works out perfectly.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Bob, I love the looks of the plate. I mean, it's so sleek and looks dynamic, like a race plane. It looks like going fast. It's just sitting there.
And it's so easy to construct. It just requires a couple pieces of foam, some plywood, and everything plugs right in.
Yeah, you can see it's just, and you can see the lineup marks here for the fuselage.
Very neat. I've always been curious about how you did that. Thank you very much, Bob.
Yeah, it's
Appreciate it.
really reverse thinking again. It's thinking instead of gluing the nacelles onto the airplane, you glue the airplane.
Glue the airplane to the nacelles.
Yeah.
Yeah, opposite thinking. Yeah, that's terrific.
So that's
I guess that's almost the same concept as building an I-beam wing. You don't basically build the wing to the fuselage. You build the wing onto the fuselage.
Yeah, very similar concept. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hey, Steve. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Hey, man.
And thanks, Tryan, for coming in, too. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hi, Tryan.
Denny, I think the show is yours now, Denny.
Yep. CSC, they haven't built those kits in a while.
Oh, it's funny.
Wow.
Yes. You see that, Bob?
What's that?
It took out Denny's screen.
I can't. What about? Oh, there you go.
Control Eye Specialties. Yeah, I've got a 4 kit from them.
Wow, that goes back a ways. I don't even have one of those.
Oh.
Is that the catalog prices?
That's the wing loading chart.
Oh, wing loading chart. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
I even forgot about that.
Yeah.
Of course, I
Very
forgot about
cool.
that for breakfast too. So.
Thank you.
Denny,
very much.
your mic is off. Still off.
We're still off.
Something's not working.
You have it muted.
There we go.
I didn't hear.
There you are.
You're going to wish I had it muted. Anyhow, Bob, this is, it says your national championship Genesis. Would that have been about 1974, 75? I forget the year.
Well, that was the 35 version there. That was I took ninth on my first nats in '73 with that airplane. That was
That was 1974.
All right.
74 I was sixth, at 75 I was sixth, and at 76 I won it.
Okay, because this makes reference to your national champion Genesis. So this chart must be about a 1976 vintage.
Yeah.
Or so.
Yeah.
Give or take. So.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to restore my 1974 airplane, which has a CSC wing in it.
Wow.
And I will dare say, and it's got to be one of the older CSC wings, still in active, still in play, shall we say.
Well, what?
What do you think? It's a 1974, I flew it 74 Nats.
Uh-huh.
So would that make it one of the older CSC wings still out there?
I started producing wings commercially in late '68.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, we got the wings. Yeah, we got the wings in '73,
based on my little brother's. My little brother Alan, he had a really, really good airplane 73, and I had that wing in my airplane in 74.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see if
I
I can
vaguely
share
remember
it.
doing that airplane, that wing.
Yeah. Okay. Can you guys see that?
What?
I tried sharing my screen here. Did it work?
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Let me try again here. Application window. Ah. Oh, damn it. Been away for a week. I think I've
Gotcha.
managed to.
I can see you.
I see him. I don't see his shared screen.
Yeah, I just see you.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
That's the 1974 airplane.
There it is.
Wow.
Yep, there it is. Which one is that?
TriStar.
Yeah, this is my own design. It was.
Weren't there a couple of detailed stuff? Was it the Magister? Somebody was doing.
Yeah, this is two airplanes after the Manchester. Actually,
okay.
first airplane after the second Manchester. That's what it was.
For those who don't know, and he's too humble to say so, and it's been mentioned here before, in 1973, he won the senior stunt event, and then he went on to win the Walker Trophy flying against Al Raby. And who was the junior member? Was it Ken Przicki that year or somebody?
No, it was actually 72. It was Mark Bauer.
Oh, okay. Was it 72 you won it?
Yeah, I did it in 72. Mark Bauer was the junior winner. He flew something called, basically an ugly stick inspired airplane. He called this Stunt Stick. It was an open rear fuselage and stuff like that. Kind of Proctor Antic kind of thing and everything like that. And the sadness is, I still wonder why he didn't even show up for the Walker Cup. Right?
And you were the last senior or junior to win the Walker Trophy final.
Exactly. So I am the tail of the dog, shall we say?
So far.
But I'm in the process of trying to strip it down and everything like that. I had some oil issues and stuff, and I'm trying to get all that fixed. And I was getting it all put back together for an LA-40. And I have since decided I'm going to have to cut it a little deeper, and I'm going to have to put a different engine in it, shall we say. And the hard part is going to be the way this thing is made with the canopy over the nose and stuff. You see these things here with the holes in them?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the engine mounts.
Mm-hmm.
So when I cut out the engine mounts, I'm going to actually get into the canopy. So, yeah. So I think what I'd really like to do this, I'm rethinking the whole plan of this. I might try going with one of those bolt-in mounts that my brother's been working on, and see if I can get to the tank out, but keep the motor mounts in it. But
do you have like an Aero Tiger or a Thunder Tiger 36? That might work.
It won't work.
No.
I don't do that anymore. Let's let it go at that. So no, I don't do gas. I won't even, not even for this. If I can't make it electric, it'll never fly again.
That's
simple as that. So,
hey, Denny, I see you've got balancers on your elevators. How'd that work? How'd that work out for you? I was thinking about putting balancers on my Vanguard, and I got talked out of it. And I still like the idea. I think mine were bigger.
I put balances on all the VTOL airplanes because I was using the strip aileron horns, which was, nobody was using them anyplace else. And I always thought the balances would take a little bit of a load off of them and, help them live. And, I never had one fail, so it was either because of that or in spite of that. So, I don't know. But I thought the balances were a good idea. In fact, if I ever get around to building a new airplane, I'm going to go back to them. But, But anyhow, that's
we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So anyway, I just the big thing I wanted to show off. I've been meaning I had a hard time finding it, but our brother Bob has been doing this stuff for a very long time. been doing a lot of great service for us for a very long time. It's not just the wings; it was things like this wing loading chart and stuff like that that help keep in mind what we were trying to accomplish. He gave us realistic target weights for anywhere from very light to very heavy, everything like that. And back when wing loadings were a lot more important, before we started putting really big engines and really little airplanes and stuff like that, the wing loadings probably had a lot more meaning than they do now. But
How about it?
anyhow, that's all. I'd say it wasn't a big thing, but I just wanted to show that off. So
Thank you very much. And Al Carroll says good night. He's gone.
Was that airplane published, Denny? The TriStar?
it was not. No.
Why don't we publish that on Stunt News on the Pamble website?
I'll think about it, I guess. Yeah. I don't have any. It was one of those 3x5 card airplanes, so.
I'd rather have the Magister, but you know.
Yeah, I'd like to do the Magister too. So.
That was my favorite airplane you ever built.
Yeah. Yeah, I was pretty fond of it too. So.
I've heard that name a few times. Does anybody have a picture of it? I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Oh,
Okay,
you fall in love with
let
it.
me see if I can dig it out, and you guys keep talking. It's going to have it.
Yeah,
I've got them, but I'm going to have to find it. So.
I got a question for you, Denny.
Yes, sir.
On the little Ellie that you built, did you build it off the? I've started on the one that I've got here, and I noticed the directions on the book. Somebody that built it evidently didn't realize that it was basically an I-beamer, and to build it like an I-beamer. Did you build it like they said in the book, or did you build it like an I-beamer?
What, the Ellie?
Yeah.
I read the book, and all I could think of is the guy they had writing the book had no idea what he was doing. Yeah, I mean, I looked at the design, I looked at the plans, and I said, this is an I-beam, and that's the way I built it. That's the only way you should build it. And I looked at the instructions. He had it building each half of the wing and then sliding it into the fuselage and joining the spar in the center. It's like, you don't have to make it that hard, man.
Yeah, he prefaced it with saying is one of the hardest. So I'm paraphrasing, but one of the hardest to build airplanes you'll ever have.
What airplane was that?
Oh, John's little Ellie. It's a Rodak kit, and he made it with a real neat. It's an I-beam spar, but he actually has full ribs that you slide on the I-beam, and because it's laser cut, he's got a perfect fit between the rib and the eye section and everything like that. And you can do that with laser cutting. You could have never done it with die cutting or anything like that. But the only other, and John, I'm sure you did it this way too. I basically had all the pieces, pinned and taped and held and whatever in place. And then long before I reached for the glue bottle,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You put the ribs on, it holds all the pieces and aligns the spar and the caps and all that on. When you get it all together, it fits so tightly because that actually it's pretty strong before you actually put the glue to it. But the darn thing wing built really quickly. But those ribs, if you notice on those ribs, the only extra meat that was on those ribs was just right where it kind of came in like a V shape towards the I-beam. So that the minimum amount of wood over an I-beam wing. But anyway, I was just wondering if because I don't know. I'm planning on doing a construction or build posts or whatever on it, just because I don't want people that buy it to buy the kit to not have access to. Well, this is the way it was designed or intended to be built, which is a whole lot easier than that. So, and it's nothing against Brodak. Believe me, nothing against Brodak. It's just that whoever did the book before didn't know what he was doing with it.
Yeah, John used to go to I can't think of his name. He's actually somebody in the Carmichael's area. Basically builds all the kit models, takes all the pictures and everything like that. And I think John actually did the text in the manual and everything like that. And I'm just guessing that this guy did not understand. Well, they've done the Aries before with an I-beam. My guess is that he just didn't understand that this thing should be built very much like an I-beam, except, all right, instead of hollow strip ribs, you had ribs that slid over the spar. But the first thing I looked at when I saw the spar was a constant height section and everything like that. It was like, I know how to do this, you know? So.
Well, it's a not Geesky, Gurkey style wing.
Yeah, well, was it?
Yeah.
That's right. He didn't have an I section though. He had a flat beam, didn't he?
He had a flat piece. I put the I section in it because it worked better.
It's lighter. Yeah, it's lighter and stronger actually.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to see if I can do this again here. Oops, wait a minute.
Magister?
Yeah. Let's see. All right, why can't...
There you go.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Look at that head of hair.
Yeah, that's the one you actually won with, isn't it?
Matching pants to the plane. That's pretty cool.
That's nice. Yeah.
I love the detail on this.
Yeah.
I think aircraft modeler. I was been looking for the plans for that.
Yeah, there are no plans. I had plans a long time ago. They got destroyed, and I have the airplane, and that's on the things to do list is to get the plans. Finally, get the plans drawn up. Oops.
A Dewa team.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. That's big art when he was still middle art. So. That's at the 68 Nationals. Okay, way back when.
Like a roughie.
There you are.
Okay, this is from 72. That's the Magister lined up with the Sea Fury, and Charlie Reeves had his Flying Red Horse P-39. Keith Drossel had his well, he called it Eagle, but the thing is like a little Mike Goodyear racer, or Formula One, I guess they call it now. And of course, Lou's Acromaster, and this was in Lexington.
And the sea barrels.
Yeah, there we go.
Look at that.
Oh,
I showed this picture to my daughter, and she had. Yeah, I showed this picture to my daughter. She had no idea who that was. Oh.
How many people use those speed balls after they started to deteriorate and you had all sorts of orange flakes in your fuel tank?
Not actually. That was when we used to throw up a bulb every couple of months and so before we ever learned about putting a fuel filter on the line.
There you go.
All right, more recent stuff. This is my 1967 Classic Legal jet. Nobler by any other name. Okay.
Wow.
Fred and Rick Cockle.
There you go.
Look at
Put
that.
this in perspective. I went to see this young man here earlier this week, and he is now 38 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
It's really odd because you're only 45, right?
This is my other Classic Legal airplane from 1969. Leroy Gunther's Galaxy. Okay, wait a minute. Let me back up a minute.
Yeah, going back to Leroy.
That was a really good looking airplane. I think, Bob, I think you've mentioned this before too.
Was that a 61 at the National Willow Grove?
I'm sorry, again?
That's the 61 Nats, right?
69.
69 Nats, right? Okay, yeah, Willow Grove.
Yeah.
And who's the pilot there, Denny?
His name was Leroy Gunther. He was a Detroit area flyer. very good builder. Didn't fly so much, and wasn't really good. But he was actually the coach that got my when my dad and my older brother started flying stunt. He was basically the coach that got him into it and got him started and building airplanes and flying patterns and stuff like that.
Do you have any pictures of a Spitfire?
I don't know. This, by the way, believe it or not, this started life. He started building a Novi 3 and decided to change it around. So the wing and the stab are Novi. The basic fuselage is Novi, but then he put he started copying ideas from other airplanes, and he come up with there were 7 different designs in it. So he called it United 7. Whatever. Okay, Ron Adams, 86.
Oh,
that girl.
Let's see. There we go. Jack Sheets and Doris Day. Yeah.
Is that Jack Sheets? And
that was him.
And that was his wife, Shirley? Is that right?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at the look. You know,
I know.
that's priceless.
Wow, that is priceless.
We called her Doris Day.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, you look at her and the name fits. I mean, right down to a beautiful smile.
Joe Adamusco.
Oops, yeah. Joe Spitfires.
Wow.
Gentleman named Jerry Worth, outstanding builder and finisher.
Now, was he the designer of the Asperix?
Yes.
Asperix?
Yes, that would have been about 2 or 3 airplanes after this one. All right. Jim, all right. Depot Saudis. Yep.
That's the airplane that flew to 69.
Those are Mark Kostecki airplanes, the Formula S, of course, you know, and the
American.
That was an Eagle. That was an American Eagle too.
Spirit of America.
Now, who designed the Talon?
There we go, Bob.
Jim Kostecki.
Okay. Thank you, Bob.
I think I went past it. That is the only picture I have of the Spitfire with the Tester's Best Finish Award.
That's Leroy's, right?
That's Leroy Gunther. The airplane, the Spitfire, was designed by Jerry Worth, but Jerry built it as an I-beam, and Leroy took Worth's wing and sheeted it with 1/16 balsa. So it was actually a little bit thicker and everything like that. But the real thing is that he got a spectacular base to put a Tester's Best Finish award-winning finish on it. So
it was gorgeous.
It really was.
Is that not the one that Art brought to VSC one year out by the pool?
I don't know if he brought it. If he brought a Spitfire, that was it, because my dad had it.
I think I saw that.
After Leroy died, we had that, and I actually have his Nobler, which was his other Tester's Best Finish airplane. I actually have it here sitting about 20 feet away right now.
There was another plane that Art had. There was that one and another Warbird that he set out by the pool, and he was telling us that they were the Tester's planes, or one of them was. I remember seeing that one.
Yeah.
I don't remember what year it was, but it was VSC, and it was I think it was the next to last one that well, anyway, I can't remember what year it was, but it was beautiful airplane. Couldn't believe how slick it was. Literally looked like it was carved from plastic.
Who's that?
What the heck is that?
This is Dad's, he called it Max Na, which came from a phrase that meant try and copy it, which of course nobody would. No, it was, you have to see the thing in real life to appreciate it. It was, the fuselage was all curved, beautifully wrapped. Wasn't a true molded fuselage, but he had, the sides were molded and, wrapped around formers and stuff like that. They weren't molded shells or anything like that.
That
it was definitely a 3D arrangement.
That was also 1969, wasn't it?
This is 69, correct. Give the man a cigar. This is when he was using the bicycle landing gear that worked pretty nice. Yep. He was using wingtip skids to keep the skids off the ground, and they were noisy as hell.
Yeah.
Remember that part too.
Yeah. It was a difficult airplane to get a picture of because he had mixed pearlescence into all of the colors. and the thing was always getting weird shines and stuff. All right, 69. This is my dad and Gunther together.
Hmm.
Me
These are
taking a
great.
break. Yeah, yeah.
That galaxy was gorgeous.
There we go. More recent, Bob McDonald.
Yeah.
A gentleman named Mark Ramsey. This here was an interesting airplane.
The
That was, I
Mariah.
believe, it's a 78. The man's name is Ron Adams, and this was his Marut design. It was on the order of 70-inch span, 800 squares, something like that.
Wow, big airplane.
Wow.
The Mariah,
Yeah,
right?
very big airplane back before, back when that was a big thing. Well, even today, that's a very big airplane.
His name
And
was
that's
Adams, right?
that was a 1968 airplane. This is classic legal, and it was published in Model 8. I'm sorry.
Denny. His name was Adams, right?
Right. Ron Adams, the Marut, and it was published in, I think, American Model.
Yes, it was. And he expounded the virtues of heavy airplanes.
Yeah, well, that's it. He talked about, he was talking about, well, that Intruder, the early one, was like 108 ounces.
Yeah.
Good grief.
And he flew, well, let's see. This one wasn't that heavy. I think this is only something like 84 or something like that.
Oh, only 84.
He flew with a Vico 45.
Whoa.
Yeah. And
the small
it
block
flew
Chevy.
well. Oops. Okay.
Danny,
No, that's not the one I was hoping for.
yeah, one thing I'm noticing here is that people were not afraid of experimenting with tail design, wing design, doing T-tails, mid tails on the rudder.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
All
Back
kind
up.
of.
This airplane, well, and here's another example. Fred Bacco built the airplane, the Osiris. Nice looking airplane, generic I-beam and everything like that.
Was that Rick Bockel or Fred Bockel?
Fred.
Yeah.
And the Osiris flew with a Fox 35. It was 635 square inches.
Good grief.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely off the beaten path here. Okay, here we go. This is Al Raid's second Sea Fury from about 71, I think.
That's a Bearcat.
Bearcat, I'm sorry. Yeah, they all kind of run together.
That's the one you beat, isn't it?
No, he flew the Sea Fury.
He beat the Sea Fury.
That's
He beat
it.
the Sea Fury. I thought he beat the Sea Fury in 73.
That's the one that Keith Trussell beat.
He flew it in 72. I'm not sure they even fly it in 71 also. But no, this is 70.
That's the one Keith Trussell beat. He bounced his landing. He bounced his landing on the final flight, and Keith didn't, and Keith won.
Yeah. This was Ron Adams' Intruder. This one was a mere 68 inches and whatever. It used this is before mufflers. He had an exhaust manifold and channeled the exhaust through the fuselage, and the exhaust came out in a more or less scale location for an A6 Intruder, which would have been like roughly under the trailing edge of the wing.
Wow.
And so the airplane, the engine sounded like it was running in a barrel. It's the most amazing sound. It was a beautiful sound, actually. It was muffled, sort of muffled. It wasn't muffled like a good pipe or anything like that. But okay, here we go.
See
the date on that? You see the date on the picture?
68.
68.
All right. So
is the next picture John Peck's airplane?
This was Rick Bockel's Vigilante.
Okay.
I'd dearly love to get some decent pictures. This is a pretty good flying airplane too. It used a side-mounted Fox 40 in it. I think it was inline or nearly inline. So, Billy Suarez. Is that Billy's airplane, Bob? Do you know that?
Yeah, that's Billy Suarez's Phantom that he crashed at the Nationals, put it all back together, and missed making the finals by a couple of points.
Wow.
That thing in about 1 million pieces. That's Lampione.
Lampione.
Well, Bob Lampione won the Nats with a nobler size F-86, and then he come back a year later with this one, which is a Fox 59 size F-86.
Yep. Took 4th place that year.
Yeah, wasn't as successful. He had, well, like all Fox 59s, he had trouble with runaways and stuff like that.
Yep.
All right, pair of shorts.
Charlie Reeves and Lou.
Absolutely. This is appearance judging at the 69 Nats. You used to walk up one at a time to the table in the work hangar.
Kind of like we're doing right now.
Well, not anymore. This, of all the airplanes Jack Sheets published, I wish to hell he'd have published this one.
There's an I-beamer.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, he sent me that picture, you know, and I never got anything else from him. I was going to try to draw it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is gorgeous.
Look at that stab elevator.
That is gorgeous. That's a
Oh, yeah.
beautiful airplane. And he never published that.
He never published it. It's the craziest thing. Of all the airplanes he published, is Jack, why? You know, why not? You know. And it was, and I remember it being a good flying airplane. But, all right, Jack's second Stuka. I'll bet you can't.
Gypsy.
Gypsy. See if you can identify the flyer on this one, huh?
Jim Sahabi.
Gypsy.
Good one. Great guess.
69 National.
Ooh, that's
right.
cool.
Bob Gialdini.
Bob Gialdini's.
Isn't this hanging on a AMA museum?
Yep.
I don't know if is the Stingray in the museum now, or is it the Eclipse?
The
I'm not
Eclipse
even
is
sure.
out there. It's not actually on display, but they have it.
Yeah.
The Eclipse.
Oh, yeah. Proof.
The sweet.
I've only had a few airplanes published, but I've only ever seen pictures of of resulting airplanes. Here's a surprise. This is actually Tom Dixon built this. Surprised me at that.
Well.
Yeah.
Doing very well. And speaks highly of it.
That sweeper looks nice.
What the heck is that?
Now, I always liked that one. Every time I see it, Denny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did it fly for you?
Let's go on to the next one. No, seriously, it flew like a trainer, and it would do really nice round loops. You could force it through something that sort of looked like a square loop, and the triangles were forget about it, you know. And I would actually like to go back and try it again. This one didn't fly. This is the most beautiful airplane I ever built, and it didn't fly.
So it's a wall hanger, huh?
Well, that's it. No, the funny thing is sold it to somebody, and this guy thought it was the best airplane he'd ever had. So it's all in the eyes of the beholder, I guess.
Perspective.
Well, that's what's so scary. You know, the problem is you only know what you know, and you don't know what you don't know.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
And it's the craziest thing. This is another one I'd like to build again, just because it's like, when you go fishing, there's always the one that got away. This one got away. I don't want it. I don't want. I'd like to get it back. That's all. All right. Todd Lee sent me this. He built in Bob Gialdini's Olympic series. The first one was something he called Eclipse, and it was quite literally a nobler with twin rotors and everything like that. Bob sent him this picture, and Todd built it. So.
Bob had a series of notebooks where he outlined and had photographs of the building stages of every one of those versions that he built. He talked about how he started out with the Nobler.
Mm-hmm. The Olympic article I think still required reading.
Yep.
Not just for what he did, but the overall thought process and the dedication that actually come out. He was in a systematic approach. Call it right, wrong, and different. He was on a systematic approach trying to develop an airplane that did the best for him, that that exhibited his style of flying and all that stuff. And it obviously worked out pretty well. Okay, this is the trailer loaded up for the 72 Nationals with my Magister on the wall, my backup sweepy, my little brothers, Easky Nobler, Leroy Gunther's. This is the Tester's best finishing winner that year. And it's the airplane I have sitting over here. And then this one on the wall and this one were Roland McDonald's airplanes. It's a design called the Harlequin.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, another good looking air. I've been riding Bob McDonald's case to, draw some plans or something like that, or work with him and draw some for him. It's a good, simple design. Flew well. It'd be a killer for Moss 30 or Super 70s or anything like that.
Yeah.
And Dad's guillotine back here. So.
Beautiful.
And Dave Tribble's one of Dave Tribble's airplanes. I asked him to. Gently suggested you should build some of those too.
I always loved that D.
Oh, hey, now that's one day after I won junior at the nationals. And Phil, this might have been the other warbird you saw with the Spitfire.
That may well have been.
That was 69, wasn't it?
That was 69. Now, both the Spitfire and, when we were cleaning out Dad's basement, both the Spitfire and this airplane ended up at a Montessori school in Windsor, Ontario, where they were basically law hangers, but the school was teaching kids basically shop technology and stuff like that. Their hands-on woodworking and stuff like that. So. All right, this one, can you identify this one? I know Bob can.
What? I can't see it. What is it?
Bill Werwidge's airplane at the 69 Nats.
I'm still looking at the Typhoon.
Really?
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the USA 1.
USA 1.
And it's his original iteration of it. And I understand he rebuilt this into the USA 1 that we all know well. Yeah.
After flying with the fellow that designed the what was the other one?
Apteryx?
Apteryx.
Yeah. Yeah, the USA 1 and the Apteryx, if you looked at them separately, you would think it was the same airplane.
They're not.
Started comparing a little differently. Okay.
Bob Wiley.
Yeah, this picture was given to me, so I'm not sure.
Nice.
I think it was a BSC picture, but I'm not sure.
I'll give you a little bit of
SBSC.
a little history on the USA 1. That airplane that he flew in 69 in that configuration. That's when he saw the Apteryx, and he went home and he rebuilt the USA 1 before the team trials that year, and made the team with that airplane, making that airplane legal in making it legal in either form, because it was redesigned and rebuilt in 69 before the end of the year. So that's still legal in either form, this form or the other form.
Wow.
I understand it. Randy Smith actually has a plan for this that he sells. I've never seen it or anything like that, but okay. And this was a Tom Warden airplane, I believe.
Yep.
69 or 70. I think it was 70 Nats.
That's the Continental.
Yeah.
Now I'm still looking at the USA 1 here. So
there's Wiley's plane.
Yeah, we were talking about Miss Kells last week.
Yeah.
That's the real Miss Kell.
I didn't realize it was so small.
That's the 73 Nationals, right?
That's the
right, Oshkosh. I think this was Tom Warden's 73 also.
Is that the Monada or the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had this, and he had another one that was similar scheme, only purple instead of green.
There was
Shades
one
of
that was
purple.
kind of like a maroon color.
Yeah, Monado.
Yeah. Tom Lay flew it at the BSC once. He was asked how it flew it. He says, like a lowered 40, like a lowered 48
Top Channel Mercury or something like that. Yeah. Oh well. And I believe that's the last one.
Very nice, Denny.
That was
I
a
have
good
taken
show.
up way too much time. I apologize for that, except it's really fun to look through those things, isn't it?
That was
It
great.
is.
It
It's
is
nice
fun.
to see
I
those
like that.
planes and color
I
schemes.
enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Trip to
Uh,
the plane.
I liked your dad's old warbird. That was neat.
Nice trip down memory lane, man. A lot of cool models.
It
there.
was.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You know what? If we can transition to the after party, it's we've been on for 2 hours and 34 minutes. It's 9:21. We only have 11 likes. We've had as many as 25 viewers. So if you're still with us and you haven't given us a thumbs up, please do that. That helps the channel grow. We are going to be transitioning to the after party. You have to be a member of Stunthangar Forum, and if you're not, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF with your real first and last name, put a space between, and a good, valid email address, or Sparky won't approve you. Anyways, we'll be back Monday, and go out there and have some fun, and come back Monday and tell us all about it. So we're going to end the show now. We'll see you next time. Fair winds and tight lines. See you later.
Bye.
Everybody wave.
Good night.